backup places there's places like the Youth Zone, there's various other places where you can go and like football stadiums, but not proper high-end like Carl City and stuff. But even if none of that works, there's various places like just parks that have like goalposts and stuff on that you can just use as you are. I know Melbourne Park usually has them up because I've been playing football there with mates in secondary, so could probably use there if everything else fails. So for distribution, we've got things like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. I'd obviously upload the quiz to YouTube, and I would share it on like Instagram, and I'd constantly post updates on filming and everything on Instagram. Facebook I probably wouldn't use as much because it's not something I really use other than to check the college group. Twitter is probably where I'd mainly focus this because I have a Twitter account that's like all completely dedicated to football. I have around 3,000 followers on there, and I follow around 3,000 as well. So part of football Twitter, basically, FT. So a lot of people on there will also be my target audience, which will mainly just be people, like it'll be all ages, but it'll be people that enjoy and watch football regularly. Because if you don't watch football regularly, a lot of the questions may be a little bit difficult, but you will still be able to get them and stuff. So Twitter would mainly be where I share my what I've made, basically. So for a schedule, I've come up with this first. I plan to. The problem with this is the weather, because if for my shooting outside, I would want it to be a dry day, sunny, just dry, whatever. Because if we're outside playing football, and filming, I don't exactly want it to be raining and everything, because it doesn't look as nice. So I have 2 weeks where I could film, but I'd mainly plan to film between like the 20th and 24th. Filming should only take 2 days probably, maybe 3 at push, if things aren't going well. Because the stuff inside the studio I should be able to get done in a day, and everything outside can probably be done in a day as well. Because that's just outside's just kicking a football around basically, and for entertainment and for this. And when I'm inside the studio, it's basically 3 rounds, just filming those, getting it done. So that should only take around 2 days, but I've got the entire week where I could film, because obviously I don't currently have participants tied down to doing it, and I don't have a set date, but it should only take around 2 days to film. Plus with getting studios, everyone's going to want studios, everyone's going to want equipment, and I feel like a lot of people are going for like the 13th to 17th week, so I think it'll be easier to get stuff the week after. So that was another part of my thinking for filming then, because I know a lot of people are trying to get it out the way and done early on while there's equipment, and I feel like the later I leave it, it shouldn't take long to film. So for the start of the month, I'm mainly just researching, planning, contacting places like Carlisle United and stuff to see if I could use Brunton Park as a place to film, which is optimistic, but if I don't ask, I won't get it. And then the 27th to 31st week, I'd just be editing it. Can probably get it edited in a week, and I could even use the last few days of the week before if I've already finished filming. And then I can have the last couple of days to do my evaluation. So things that could go wrong, obviously participants could drop out, which is why I do plan on having at least 1 or 2 different people that I can call and bring in if other people can't make it or don't turn up, which would obviously be a problem. If I can't get a location outside to film, like Brunton Park, obviously I have the backup, like different backups, like Youth Zone, other little football clubs like Carl City, things like that. But if all else fails, I can just go down to local park like Melbourne Park. Obviously there's always an issue of hard drive corrupts, things like that, SD cards. So I obviously plan on mainly using my hard drive to save all my work too, but I also will back it up on my computer at home, different things like that. So I have it saved in multiple places in case something breaks. Obviously, as I said, I plan on filming with 3 different cameras, so if one of them corrupts or isn't of a high enough quality that I think's acceptable for the project, I will have other ones that I can fall back to. And with 3 people being on each side and me in the middle, I will also hopefully get someone from the course to keep an eye on the cameras and in the background, basically. So I think Dan said he'd be willing to do that last week, but I haven't really spoken to him about it yet. Weather I put on there because with filming 2 rounds outside with all the equipment, I don't want it to all get wet or break or anything. Plus it doesn't look as nice if it's in the rain, I don't think. So that's why I've kind of got the 2 weeks where I could film, 2-week barrier, but between the I was mainly hoping to film between 21st and 23rd, so if the weather's right on those days, that's when I'll plan to film, because I think that's just a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so everyone's in college anyway, and I think quite a few of the people I would be using would be from college. Like, I think Tinsley said he's up to do this, I think Nathan said he'd like to do this. I still need to speak to Ed, but I know like Tinsley and Ed are the main 2, because I think they'd be, obviously they're passionate about football. I did think about Mark, but I can't trust Mark to come in and get this done, basically.
About Johnny?
I wouldn't know anything about Johnny. I don't know if he's into football or anything.
Yeah, he is.
No?
Johnny knows his football.
I wasn't aware of this.
I think Mark does.
Yeah, but Mark I can't trust
Rely
to
on
come in.
him. Okay.
That was the main problem, because I did originally think of Mark and Tinsley, because obviously I do hang out with Mark and Tinsley a
What
lot.
about asking the PE, the sports diploma?
That's also an option, but I do have people that have like said that they like the sound of this idea and would like to participate. So I like various people. But yeah, so I'd mainly be filming between 21st and 23rd if the weather's right. But if like it's one day's raining, one day it isn't, we can obviously film in the studio on the day that isn't raining. So I'll obviously be keeping a close eye on the weather. Yeah, any questions? Basically.
If you are doing it in the college, like for the main bit,
Yeah, the studio
you could
section.
use the actual studio cameras and have someone live editing the film to give it the authentic TV broadcast like style.
Well, yeah,
That way
obviously
you have a
I mean, live
Three-
vision mix.
Yeah, live vision mix.
for
That way you'd have a
inspirations I
3
did
or 4
look
camera
at.
setup.
Yeah, for inspirations I did look at things like Question of Sport, but I was more thinking, well, rather than it being a TV kind of thing, like obviously this would still work, but I was more thinking of like kind of like a YouTube quiz thing, rather than a TV. If you,
Right.
Obviously there was a clip that I was thinking, because I watch a lot of a YouTube channel like Football Daily, Euro Football Daily, and they have a quiz show called Stat Wars. They have Stat Wars League, Stat Wars Champions, which are kind of like this, but not really. So they have 3 rounds. They have a hot potato round. That's the second round, where it's like they'll have a subject like name all the teams in Serie A to have won the league title since 1980, and they'll basically go back and forth with 30 seconds on the clock. And when whoever runs out, and they have a round kind of like the transfer round, but it's guess the player. So it would be like, I have played with Ronaldo, Jerome Boateng, and Asensio, and you have to guess the player from that, and then it would give you something else. I've won the World Cup with Germany, would be like maybe round 2, and for round 1, I play centre mid for Real Madrid, and then like Toni Kroos would be the answer for that. So it's kind of like that, but a bit different. But it would be kind of like in a YouTube kind of sense rather than a TV kind of sense.
So a bit more about like
kind of.
How many teams are you going to have?
Just 2 teams
Okay.
with three participants on each team, and then obviously me hosting.
Because if you were going to have more than 2, this room is quite small.
Yeah, it wouldn't be any more than 2.
I worry about this room being used. I think it's very, obviously at the moment it's very cluttered, and you do have that kind of, it looks like a classroom. So
Well, one of the
I think
reasons.
you would have to have a good think. I think you would need to have banners up or some kind of block
Yeah, some
set
football blocks and stuff.
in place. I honestly don't think this room is going to work. I think you need a bigger room so you're able to move the cameras more.
One of the things I was thinking about when I was thinking of this room was like this projector, because I plan on having like a design for like a logo made,
Right.
because I would have like question cards basically that would, for the, like the quickfire round especially, I'd have like question cards. So on one side there'd be the question card, and then on the other side there'd be like a nice logo for it, and I can use the logo in like thumbnails and stuff like that. And
I just don't know where you would put the teams if you were having, say you had the logo at the back and then the presenter there. Are you going to present it?
yeah, I'd be presenting it like kind of like sat in the middle here,
I just
and it
don't
would
know
just
where
be a
you
team like over on each side. But
Yeah, I mean you've got all that stuff in a way.
yeah.
I think there's probably better rooms.
Plus we do have multiple projectors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you might be able to use the gym hall. It's just carrying it, getting all the kit over. The schedule dates don't match up. You had like June at the start of them.
Yeah, that was because of the month starts on, well, this month started on Wednesday, and it ends on a Friday, and then obviously the project finishes, like the project deadline's on the 4th, so it would just kind of worked out with like Saturday and Sunday being 1st and 2nd, and then Monday, Tuesday being 3rd and 4th.
Oh.
It is kind of confusing, but it worked out.
I kind of get that, but
Yeah.
I just